Hello, dear classmates and teacher. My name is Genesis Munoz, and I'm here today to talk about human versus animal communication. So, before talking about the difference between humans and animals communication, let's talk about the difference between communication and language. Okay, so communication is what animals use to transmit information. That information can be maybe feelings, emotions, or maybe to express danger and things like that. So, communication is a type of behavior, okay? On the other hand, language is a complex system that contains many different aspects. Remember that language as a system is divided into four elements: patterns of speech, prosody, paralinguistic, and symbolism, which are subdivided into more aspects. Okay, so language is what humans use to communicate, to express themselves, to transmit knowledge, and those things. Okay, so communication in animals can be transmit in an visual or in an auditory way, okay? For example, because let's remember that not all animals have the same structure. For example, there are animals who have four limbs, but there are other ones who doesn't have limbs, okay? For example, the cobra. So, examples of how animals will communicate through in a visual way will be cobras, which inflate their hood to scare other creatures. They do not make any sound, they just inflate their hood, and the other creatures know that they cannot get close to them. Okay? Then we have fireflies who glow to attract mates. Then we have, as an example of auditory communication of animals, we have wolves who howl to call to other wolves in the pack. And then we have elephants who use their trunks to talk to other herds over long distance. Okay? Okay. So now let's talk about code and purpose. Okay? So in humans language, the code is all the aspects that we mentioned before, okay? Because let's remember that language in humans is a mental phenomenon that contains rules of language, phonological rules, semantic rules, grammar, vocabulary, and all the aspects that we mentioned before, okay? However, in animals code, it's a group of associations of communication system. As we mentioned before, in it can be they can communicate through sounds or through body movements. Okay, it depends of the animal. So now let's talk about the purpose. In humans language, the purpose is basically to decode the speaker message by understanding the actual meaning and the inferential meaning of it. And another aspects such as the context, the semantic meaning of the message, and all of that, the body gestures and all those aspects, okay? But in animals communication, they have two purposes. The first one is to detect internal state, for example, transmit if they are their emotions and feelings. And the external conditions could be to express danger, maybe to attract information, codership, etc. Okay, so now let's talk about some other difference. For example, features in humans. Humans learn language through the culture. It means that for humans, language is not biological. They learned, like, let's say, in a collaborative way, through the context and through the culture. However, animals communication is biological because let's remember that they learn how to communicate to survive, okay, to express their instincts, their emotions, and all of those. And okay, humans' language functions. Okay, let's say that humans use many aspects to communicate, such as words, prosody, and phrases, and all the aspects that I mentioned at the beginning, okay? While animals communicate through sounds and through by using their body, as we said before, to transmit what they want, to transmit messages. Now, let's talk about the purpose again, okay? Another purpose of human language. So, humans also communicate to share knowledge and ideas through different aspects of language, while animals communicate their instincts through sounds to survive, because let's remember that they learn to communicate in a biological way, as a shield, let's say. And regarding transmission of information, okay, animals have a very limited range of of ways to transmit information, okay? Because let's remember that they can just communicate through sounds or by using their body. At the beginning we saw the example of the elephants who use their trunks, or the cobras who use their hood. So that's what they can do. They can use sounds or they can use their body. However, humans have different means of communication: radio, television, traffic signs, symbols, etc. Okay, so now let's talk about feedback. Animals can only show agreement or disagreement with something by doing sounds or with their body movements, but they cannot express or they cannot give feedback, because let's remember that they cannot verbalize their intentions, okay? While humans, they do have the ability to give feedback, and in many different ways. They can give feedback verbal or in a non-verbal way, in an orally way, or in a writing way, okay? Okay, so let's talk about three important differences, okay? Human language is unpredictable, okay? Because there is a wide range of things that humans can request people to do. While animal communication is predictable, because there are just a short list of things that an animal can be asking to you, okay? For example, let's talk about domestic animals. If you have a cat and the cat comes to you and comes and stay under your hand, maybe they are asking you to pet them, okay? Or if they make a lot of noise, maybe it's because they are hungry and they want you to feed them. They want you to feed them. Or maybe it's because they are sick. Those three options. They want you to pet them, they are hungry, or they are sick. It cannot be anything else. But with humans, if you are talking with a friend and they tell you, "Ah, I have to tell you something," you cannot guess what they are going to tell to you. So now, regarding feedback, as we mentioned before, humans have the ability to give feedback, okay? Um, Unlike animals who, due to their communication is non-vocal, they just can show agreement or disagreement, but they cannot give feedback or suggestions, okay? And finally, the result of communication. In humans' language, the result of communication involves different aspects, such as the intentions of the speaker or the intentions of the listener, the cultural background, the semantic, or the context, okay? All those things. While in animal communication, it just involves showing their emotions and intentions through sounds or body movements, nothing else. And well, that was all. This is the bibliography that I use. Thank you very much. Have a good day.